Hello guys and welcome back. Today I am bringing you another Kenwood single din that I have in my little collection. This is not an Exelon like the last one. That was a KDC X990. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. But this is a lower end model. It's just a normal Kenwood. This is a KDC-MP232. Now I'm going to be using the zoom on this because for some reason my iPhone, when I get close to the screen, does not want to focus on it. So the zoom works fine, so I'll just be using that from now on. I learned that with the last video. But this is silver. Now, that and the model number having an M in it, you might think that this is for marine applications because a lot of modern single dins, if they're meant for boats, they're usually a different color. Sometimes they're not, but I know Kenwood, for example, theirs are silver, whereas the car ones are normally black. So seeing a silver one like this, might throw some people off, but back then, they did them in different colors, commonly silver. There were silver interiors in cars, so it might match a little better than the black. It was more common. But anyway, different color kind of threw me off. Now this has a VFD display versus the Exelon had the full color LCD, which I like VFDs. They look pretty cool. I do think they're better than like segmented LCDs when it comes to like sunlight and that sort of thing. But, there's a reason they moved on to them. But I do think they look pretty nice. Granted, the LCDs, you get, color change options, stuff like that, but I kind of prefer this. But you can see it shows the clock, this little thing over here, this graph, that is the EQ. So you have, I'll get into this, but one way of changing the EQ, going through the presets, are by hitting this little Q button down here. That also doubles as one of the menu buttons. Again, I'll get into that later. But you press this and it will cycle through different EQ settings, and you can see the chart changes accordingly. I like keeping it on natural just because that's kind of a flat response. I don't feel you should have that boosted. But if you want to adjust the bass and treble yourself and not go off of whatever Kenwood says, you press this volume knob in, and then you get bass, mids, treble, as well as balance and fader. So two different ways to, change settings in here. And that's not even all of them. Say, right now it says 2:56. Maybe it's daylight savings time. Maybe the clock is just off by a few minutes. You want to fix it. How do you do that? Well, you have to go to standby. So we'll do that now. Hold down that Q button again. Now you're in a whole different set of menus. You can set an anti-theft code. Again, like I said in my last video, this is one of the many ways they thought of combating radio thefts that were common at the time. So this one, you use this little knob over here. Up to cycle like your beep on or off. Clock adjust is right there. DSI, I'm not sure what that is. SCL auto, again, not sure what that is. CD read 1, demo off, and back to code set. So, yeah, there's different ways to change things. I don't know, does this do anything in here? SB off. Oh, so this is where you change your speaker type. You can have 5 1/4 OEM or 6x9s. Not 6 1/2s, kind of strange. I do think 5 1/4s were probably more popular back then. But either way, it's kind of weird not to see them in there. This little button on the left here, that is labeled ATT/dim. Kind of hard to make out. There, you can see it. So, dimmer, obviously that's a dimmer. I have it on right now because otherwise the screen looks kind of closer to white than it does teal, like it actually is. But the other function, ATT, if you just press it, when you have some music or sound playing, it could be anything, if you hit that, it'll just notch it down. Won't totally mute it, but it backs off the audio quite a bit. So that's kind of handy. I don't know why they didn't just make it a mute switch. I think that would make a little more sense, but they didn't do it for some reason. Your typical, 1 through 6 presets are down here. You do have 3 pages of these, and they are accessed through this little switcher over here. Press up, that'll go FM2, one more time to 3, and that's also how you get to AM. If you press down, you will get into AM. Up will get you to FM, and make sure you're on FM1 if you want to have your presets, depending on, keep track of the page because they're different depending on what number that is. Yeah, other things this does, it also does support HD radio and Sirius radio, as you see right there, with the tuner, of course. You have to have that for both of those. It also has a rear aux input, again, with the tuner. I didn't show CD. We'll go to CD quick. It does have a CD in there. I'll eject that quick. Works totally fine. I actually bought this radio, funny enough, brand new at a PepBoys. Not in 2004 either. The Best of the Gamma was in there. I have a random box of CDs that somebody gave me that was what was on top first, so I just grabbed it. But yeah, how I got this, I got it at PepBoys. Literally, it was brand new in the box. I don't know if somebody returned it or what the situation was, but it's in good condition. It even came with the remote, which I have no batteries for, but I do have it. Turn off the lights too, so you can get kind of an idea what it looks like in the dark. I like how the knobs are backlit blue and the buttons and whatnot are red. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so I mean, it's got pretty good sound. It gets loud. I don't want to play too much of it because of copyright reasons, but anyway, that's really all there is to say about this. It's just back then it might have been like mid to high end, but today it doesn't even have Bluetooth, so, and not even auxiliary without a module, so there's not even really a way to add Bluetooth unless you have that Kenwood specific part to make it do so. So if you have this, otherwise, you're listening to CDs or you're listening to the radio. That's kind of it, unless you have the adapters for the other stuff. But anyway, this is a nice unit. I do like old school car audio stuff. I work in a car audio store. I sell radios and speakers, all day long. So this stuff does kind of have a special place for me. But I do enjoy showing you as well the ones that I come across throughout the years. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Definitely tune in if you'd like to see more. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.